This is the Matribox by Sonicake. It's a multi-effects processor for guitar, bass and acoustic guitar, and today I'm going to take you through it and also which setting I used on my new track called Stray. So the Matribox is a compact multi-effects processor for guitar or for bass, or technically you could plug any instrument in with a 1/4-inch jack. It has over 130 high quality effects and it uses white box digital modeling to create a really high quality tone. There's a really simple editing effects chain, which I'll show you in a minute, with 40 amp types for electric, bass and acoustic, 38 factory IR cabinets, and over 50 different kind of effects, giving you the option for thousands of combinations. Now there's 198 presets in total. You've got 99 factory ones and 99 user ones. There's also a looper on board and 100 high quality drum patterns. It's a metal chassis and metal foot switches with a built-in expression pedal, and it runs on DC 9-volt power and comes with its own power supply. There's even a PC and Mac editor as well to get hands-on with making your own sounds. Switched on at the moment and it's on the patch Lucid Dream, which is a patch I used in a song, and I'll show you that later. But we start over here. This is the master control volume. You've got the little panel here, which I'll go into further depth. And then you've got this dial, which can also be clicked, which can adjust parameters. You've got global settings and the drum settings here, a back button and a save button, and 3 dials to adjust the bottom parameters. You've got 3 different parameters at the bottom here, and whatever it says on those 3, you can adjust with these 3 dials. Two switches to go backwards and forwards through the presets. You can click them together to get the tuner, and if you long hold press them, that's where the looper is. You can either long hold press to go back again, or there is the back button just there. And then finally, we've got an expression pedal. This can be to control different parameters. Maybe it's effects, maybe it's a wah. On the back, we've got our 1/4-inch in and then 1/4-inch out stereo. The effects are all in stereo, but you can go mono if you want to. You then also have aux in, so you could play music from a phone or an MP3 player, and you've also got headphones. It's USB-C out, but the great thing is it can double up as an audio interface as well as connecting to the computer for editing. And then you've got your DC 9 volts, that's also 500 milliamps. Up here where this is currently saying F30, that's F30, patch number 30, so this is your patch number. If you see a little asterisk like this, it means that you've altered the preset patch. So it's just a nice indicator to let you know you may have altered something. So if we go down and then go back up again, it's gone back to its default, unless you save it. There's a drum indicator state, so if it's dark like that, it means that the drums aren't on, whereas if we've got drums on, then it'll light up. Similarly for the expression pedal, so we've got one called Baby Cry, and therefore the expression pedal is on there, and as soon as I move it, you can see it's been altered because it's changing the preset. Right in the middle is the name of the preset, which of course you can change if you want to. And then at the bottom, we've got three different things. So we start off here with the BPM, and this is for any effects or delays to follow a BPM. So you can change that, of course, just by scrolling slowly. We can scroll down, or we can scroll real fast between 40 right up to 250. The other thing as well is you've got the P volume, and that's the preset volume. So we can change the preset volume itself, and that is different to the output volume because that includes the guitar. I've skipped over it, but the last one is mode. So at the moment we're in preset mode, or we can be in stomp mode. What stomp mode does is it simply changes these two. Instead of going up and down the memories, we're now turning the effects on and off. So if I turn that one off and turn that one off, you can see it turns the delay and the reverb off at the same time. And we can go back over there. If we go back over to preset, it's just showing us the name. The nice thing with being in stomp mode, you can still see the name actually on the display. The other thing as well, I've told you about holding these two down to access the looper. If you just hold this one down, then you're going to get tap, and it's asking you if you want to tap the BPM. You can do that. You can see it's changing there. If you want to get out of tap, we just hold that down again, and it goes back to the mode you've left it in, either stomp or preset. But where it gets interesting now is changing the effects of a preset. And to do that, we just click the parameter button, and now we're inside the actual preset itself. Very, very simply, we can control this by moving across. And as you can see at the bottom here, we're actually changing different things. So we have two effects. We've got an amp, we've got an NR, we've got a cab, EQ, delay, mod, and reverb. And I can't go any further, I can go back. But it doesn't just stop with what's on the screen, there's actually more. So if we have a look at effects 1, you can see there's two little markers there. And what that means is there's a second page. The way to access that second page is by clicking the parameter dial. So if I give this a click, it's now showing me output as well as on and off or sustain. And we're currently on compressor, and I can actually change what this is by dialing this over here. So we can move over to lots of different things. We've got dual melodies, octavers, we've got touch, we've got AC sim. We can go all the way over to lots of different things just on this one effect. If I go across to effects 2, we can see here that's got filter, and we've got two more. So there's actually 3 little dots. So give this a click, step 3, step 4, and you've got rate, and you've got sync. If I change this over to something else, you can see it's got 3 little dots there, so we give this a click, and it's now saying range, Q, and mix, and then mode. So it's very easy to just sit on the floor, edit it, and maybe play a little bit, see what that sounds like, and then you can click save. You can do this for all 9 and change it how you want, but you get a great visual representation on what appears to be quite a small screen, but you don't need a lot more information than that. And it's quite easy to navigate around, and you can go back, and we can come out of this if we haven't saved it, or you can hit save. And it's asking us what we're going to call it, so we can obviously scroll through each letter and just change what it's called. And then when you're ready, you can click save. Now, if you're using a multi-effects processor to make tunes, then you might want to actually get those tunes out there in the world. And today's sponsor can help you, which is DistroKid. DistroKid is a music distribution company. You can't just go to Spotify and say,
hey, can you play my music?
You've got to hand it to a music distributor. And what they do is they push it out to Spotify, but not just Spotify, all the different music streaming sites around the world. Most music distributors charge you per release, but with DistroKid, they charge you one price per year, and it starts at $22.99. With that, you can actually upload as one musician and one artist. I'm on the Musicians Plus tier, which gives you 2 artists. That is $39.99 a year, but it also gives you things like setting the pre-order date, setting the release date, and you can even do a label tier if you're looking after quite a few acts. Now we have a code that's on the screen. It's also that QR code, which gives you 7% off your first annual membership with DistroKid. So that $22.99 or $39.99 has just come down by 7%. Even the label tier will come down by 7% no matter which one you choose. DistroKid don't just push your music out to all the streaming websites, which is excellent. They also push it out to social media as well. Things like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and now even Snapchat. So people can use your music in their reels and you'll get paid. So click the link that's on the screen, it's in the description box below, or scan that QR code to get yourself 7% off releasing as much music as you want to for an entire year. Thank you very much to DistroKid for sponsoring this video. Now let's get into the drums and the looper. Now, as well as all the effects we've got going on and the way you can edit it, there's also a drummer and a looper. And the drums are right here. Now, if I just press this button, it'll start playing the drums. I can press it to stop it. Now, if I change the BPM on the preset, it won't change the BPM of the drums until they're synced. So you have to hold the drum button down, and now we're in the drum menu. There's loads of different drum styles, and we've got drum BPM, we've got sync, and we've got drum volume. Now, at this point, you can either press this button, or you can press the parameter and it'll start playing. And we can synchronize it. So now we can change it. If we come out, it will adjust it accordingly. There's loads of different styles, so we can actually go through them, and there's lots of different styles here. I'm not going to go through every single one with you, but of course you can go through all of them when you get one. And then lastly, we've actually got the looper. We have to hold these two down. So if I hold it down for 2 seconds, we've got a looper. So these buttons now change. This becomes record and then play. And of course you can overdub over the top. And then you've also got stop and then hold down for clear. So if we were to record something, you can see it's recording there. And then as I press it again, it's going to start playing it back. If I want to overdub, I just press record again and it goes blue for overdub. And then if you go to green, we're just in playback mode. If I press stop, it will stop. If I hold it down, it empties it. You've got the record volume, the play volume, and then also you can do pre or post, which is a really nice move. Just having a little looper built on board is quite nice, but the fact you can have post or even pre effects, which is really, really nice, just a nice little add-on. Now, if you do have pre or post, it depends on the record time. So pre mode will record everything without effects, and you've got 90 seconds, or post mode will actually record everything with effects, but it's 45 seconds. It is a one-phrase looper, so we can't do things like verse and chorus. You're just going to have to get a little bit creative with that. The looper still shows which patch you're on, and to get out the looper, we can hold these two down and let go, and then we're out. Or the alternative is you can just press the back button and you're back to where you were. I was creating a solo and I needed quite a nice sound, so I started to play around with just the presets, and I came across the one called Lucid Dream. Started playing with it and actually didn't change any of the preset settings whatsoever because I thought it sounded great. Being USB-C, I was able to plug it directly into the iPad and then use Logic Pro on iPad and then just hit record. So this is the tone I used for the solo in the track Stray. The niceties are it's really compact. It's a metal chassis, so it's nice and sturdy. And when you're going into editing those 9 different modules, because it's all color coded, it makes it a lot easier. The downsides for me, there's 2 of them. One is the display itself is a little bit small. And I think if you were on stage, the plastic area there, I think I would have actually liked it to be a lighter color, just so I could identify the buttons, maybe if you're in a dark environment. The only other downside for me really is the selection of the drum kit in the drums. There's loads of patterns and that's fine, but the drum kit itself, I'm not a fan of the sounds. It sounds a little bit too electronic. I prefer more of a live sampled sound, but that's just my personal preference. The only thing we'd add on to this is maybe an additional plug-in on the back for another pedal. So maybe you could add something like a Boss FS6 or something like that, so we could maybe control the looper whilst also controlling the stomp boxes. But other than that, for the price of $129, it's a fantastic little piece of kit. I also like the fact that it's 9 volt 500 milliamp because I can actually throw this onto my pedal board and power it with the battery pack power plant should I want to. In terms of sound and sound quality, I think it's good enough for most people. If you're just starting out getting your first multi-effects processor, and the PC and Mac software is simple enough and actually quite intuitive. As always, there's a link in the description box if you want to go and pick this up. If you do click that link and buy from Sonicake directly, that does help me, but at no additional cost to you because it is an affiliated link. And I want to thank Sonicake for sending this out to me. As I say, it's a fabulous little piece of kit and I've been able to use it on one of my tracks. If you found this video useful, then the old like, subscribe, click on your way down to buying one of these. It's just down there, somewhere down there. And if you want some details about the guitar I was playing that I used on the track Stray, then have a look at this video right here.